Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we will see the addition reactions on carbon-carbon double bond, or one can say the important reactions of alkenes. What are the reactions of alkenes that are participated in the different ways? Okay, so I am Zamir Sheikh. Welcome you all. Okay, so in this online lecture. So, this lecture is applicable to UG students as well as the postgraduate students as per their syllabus concern. So, first of all, what is that addition reactions now, and which molecules are participated in the addition reaction? You know that addition reactions are nothing but the one where two substrate are combined together, it will be form a single product. Okay, so like here, so that type of reactions are called as a addition reaction. Okay, in terms of what organic chemistry, so additions reactions are nothing but the where the two substrates are combined, you will get the one single product. Likewise, suppose I have this olefin, when I reacted with the any reagent, that is HX or any other reagent, it will be converts into the what, a saturated product like this one. So, such a type of what reactions are called as a addition reaction. Now, addition reactions are classified in three different way. Addition reaction. So, addition reactions are of particularly electrophilic addition reaction, second one nucleophilic addition reaction, and third one is called as a free radical addition reaction. Okay, and today we will see the most importantly what the reactions of what alkene, how the alkenes are participated in this reaction. You know that if you see the actual chemistry of what olefins molecule, here carbon carbon double bond, right? This is actually what your olefin molecule, simple one can say ethene. Okay, now how this ethene is act as a nucleophile? Ethene is belong to the class of neutral nucleophile. It is belong to the class of neutral nucleophile because of the presence of what pi electrons, or one can say the pi electron bonding here. Suppose I here this is, suppose example, this is carbon carbon single bond, and now here this is what lateral overlapping of the pi orbitals. Okay, this one, and particularly this bond is an having pi electron density available for what the reacts with the electrophilic center. Now, suppose I have any electrophile here, this is what electrophile, you know that. So, pi electrons are itself attacked onto the electrophile because electrophiles are deficient. The flow of electron where should be like this. Okay, so here electrophile will be grabbed by your pi bond. Now, if your double bond is symmetrical, that means your electron density should be what, transferred from center of the two carbon. Okay, if it is unsymmetric, then we have what, regioselective reactions. Okay, now a first step is what, first step is attack of pi electron over the electrophilic center. What will happen in that reactions? So, this carbon will combine with electrophile, one of the carbon should react with here. Suppose this is what the carbon where we attach that electrophile, and now this position will be a deficient now. Okay, and these are the remaining your hydrogen. Now, this is first step where electron density from pi, okay, or from olefin will transfer to the what, electrophilic center now. Okay, this is the what actual first step which is takes place in this reaction. Okay, now what about the second step now? The second step is what? Okay, so here one can be mentioned, this is what nucleophile, this is what your electrophile. The reaction is always from what, rich center to deficient center. Now, in this case you will get the intermediate which is cationic intermediate, right? So, this is an cation now. You know that cations are unstable, they are the important the intermediate in the organic chemistry, particularly if it is if suppose for example they have the ability to rearrange itself. That is why the limitation of what the cations are what, they undergo the rearrangement. Okay, if it is secondary, then it will be converts into the tertiary if it is possible. Okay, like that. Okay, and now another step is what, the second now another step is what, the so there is attack of the another nucleophile. Suppose I have this nucleophile, then it will be attached to the electrophilic center. Now this becomes a electrophiles and this becomes a nucleophile. So this is a change in the what, particularly the centers, and this nucleophile will attack to the carbon where deficiencies occur or deficiency is there, and then there is a formation of your product that is called a addition product. Okay. So very simple mechanism, particularly here. Now here this is a nucleophile, and this type of what reactions is called as a is called as what, addition reaction, and particularly this reaction is an example of electrophilic addition reaction. It is an example of electrophilic addition reaction, and today we will focus upon the what, electrophilic additions. Okay. And if it is suppose you want to just differentiate with nucleophilic addition, what is nucleophilic addition? Now then we have what, electrophilic center like carbonyl group, and your nucleophile is there, that nucleophile is directly attached to or directly react like this fashion, and you will get the now look at this chemistry. Now this is sp2 hybridized carbon converts to sp3, now converts to, this is O negative, and here this is nucleophile now. So in this step what, you will get the sp3 hybridized intermediate which is tetrahedral geometry, and finally what, so the protonation will be gives to the stable product like this one. So this is actually called as a, so this is called as what, a nucleophilic, this is called as what, nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay. Now olefins are itself nucleophilic because you know that according to that Sedgwick rule and according to that simple electronic concept. So you know that we have, this is mono, this is for simple olefin, we have, this is mono substituted one, this is di substituted one, this is what, tri substituted, and this is what, tetra substituted. Now according to that Sedgwick rule and what electronic effects, you know that more alkylated double bonds are more nucleophilic in nature, more alkylated double bonds are more nucleophilic in nature. Okay, remember this one. So whenever if you want to do the electrophilic addition reaction, then you should have this type of what, the order. Okay, what type of order should be required for this reaction? Look at this one. I have three different types of what, olefinic substrate. One is attached with electron donating group, second is simple your olefin, third is your withdrawing substrate. And suppose I have this electrophile now, suppose I have this electrophile is here now. The electrophile will be first grabbed by the olefin where donating substances are there, because this is electron deficient. Okay, this is what, this is electron deficient, and this is what, electron rich. That's why if you want to do the any reactions, particularly your substrate should be more nucleophilic. So for reactions with alkene, your substrate should be your alkene should be electron rich. Okay, and which alkenes are electron rich? Now either we have donating substituents or simple. Suppose I have the example is this one. Now suppose I have this double bond and I have this double bond. Can you compare the nucleophilic character between these two? Now if we just imagine, okay, or just consider that these are the two your examples. Okay, your first is an suppose single double bond, that is one double bond, and this is called as simple ene, and this is called as what, diene. You know that diene means it is belongs to the category of isolated double bond, and this is a class of a conjugated. Now can you differentiate with respect to the nucleophilic character? Yes. In case of what isolated double bonds, they are more nucleophilic because there is no resonances occurred. The electron density is fixed at the particular position, but in case of a diene, the electron density, pi electron density is moved to onto the molecule, and that's why if you see that actually, so you will get the different structures. Whatever the structures will be obtained now, look at this one. So this will be the positive charge and this will be the negative charge. That means there is a delocalization of pi electron is takes place. So it is very difficult to do the electrophilic reactions on conjugated system. That's why we have this is a perfect order for electrophilic addition reaction. Okay, remember this one. Okay, so we will see the very important and interesting type of what flow chart that cover all the different reactions which have very important in as particularly your syllabus. Suppose I have this is an unsymmetrical olefin as a 1-methyl cyclohexene. Your reactant is 1-methyl cyclohexene, and I want to do the different reactions particularly onto that. So what type of the reactions are they? It totally depend upon the reagent. Okay, you know that every electrophilic substitution reactions are of two type occurred in the two step. First step is pi electron. First step is what? Suppose I have this is olefin now. It first attack to the your electrophile. So I will again back to the mechanism. Look at this one. This is what your olefin. When it is we have any electrophile, what will happen? It combine like this fashion. It will be combined. So like this fashion. So this is what nucleophile to electrophile. Then here electrophilic, and here will be the charge will be developed, and then incoming nucleophile will be occupied or will be attacked to the what your deficient center like this. So this is a two-step mechanism reaction. Okay, and now instead of what type of the reagents which are used now, so we will see all the different reactions. Okay, that means we have a list of what reactions in which what we can consider. Okay, so okay, we'll start with this one now. First of all, what bromination. You know that bromination reaction is what? A type of reactions where we can add the bromine, okay, onto the what? Your unsaturated system now. So what type of the mechanism is there now? Look at this one. So suppose I have this is an your molecule, and this is what methyl group is there, and this is actually your double bond. Okay, now we are combined with a Br2. What is Br2 now? This is your molecule Br and Br. You know that Br is a homodiatomic molecule having 3 pair of electron on each bromine. Okay, and there is a single bond between the bromine and bromine. What will happen? So your pi electron density from one side, because this is sp2 hybridized molecule, so it should be a trigonal planar, right? So electron density, suppose from the front side or back side, both are what equal, that means you can attack on any side. Okay, because it is a trigonal planar now. So suppose I use this above top of the side, that is front side, onto the bromine. So bromine attack to here, that is your pi electron is attacked on the bromine, and this bromine will be heterolytically cleaved like this fashion. Okay, now what will happen? You will get the intermediate. You will get the what? Intermediate in this step. What type of the intermediate will be appear now? Look at this one. Suppose I used one of the plane particularly. So here suppose methyl will be the front. Okay, and this bromine will be goes to the back now. You can also make another form, that is methyl should be the below the plane, Br will be the above the plane, and this will be called as a bromonium ion. Okay, and finally you know that Br negative ion, okay, so will be attacked to the bromonium ion from the SN2 fashion. So what type of the SN2 fashion means what? That bromine will find the bromide ion will find the electronically deficient position, or one can call the least substitute position. So here it will be coming from the front side. This is actually called as a SN2 attack. Okay, and here bromonium ion will be open in this fashion. So you will get the anti-brominated product. What is that anti-brominated product? That anti-brominated product is nothing but the what? Where two bromine should be in opposite side. So here bromine should be a back side, and here bromine should be a front side. This is actually what the major product obtained in this reaction, and that reaction is called as a bromination reaction. Okay, very well known reactions particularly here. Okay, let's see the another reactions. What will happen when this cyclohexene treated with CH2I2 in the presence of a zinc dust? Okay, so have you seen this reaction? Yes, this is a reaction of organo zinc. What will happen? Okay, so first reaction in between CH2I2 and ZnCu. We will see the mechanism of this reaction. Now this is actually, so what will happen to that now? A zinc is just inserted in between this carbon and iodine. So what will happen now? Later on we will get the intermediate here. This is, look at this, this is CH2, this is what? Zinc, iodine, and this is what? Iodine. Now this is actually called as a organo zinc. Your intermediate which is developed in this reaction is called as a organo zinc, and then so that will be reacted with your olefin now. What is your olefin now? Your olefin is this. This is your olefin now. Okay. Now when these two are combined together, so there is a formation of 3 membered intermediate. So whatever the intermediate will be formed now, look at this. So this is what, suppose methyl is present now, then it should be above the plane, okay, and here look this, so this will be a CH2, okay, and here this is what, Zn, this is I and this is I. So there is a elimination of a zinc iodide molecule, that is Zni2 will be eliminated. So here Zni2, and there is an stereoselective product will be formed with respect to that methyl group, that is this will be your methyl group, and here will be what, CH2. This reaction is called as a electrophilic addition reaction, and in that reaction you will get the cyclopropane. So that reaction is called as a cyclo what, propanation reaction, cyclopropanation reaction, okay. And this is the what reaction is proposed by Simon and Smith, that's why this reaction is called as a Simon-Smith reaction, okay. Well known transformation from olefin to the cyclopropane. So what is the name of this reaction? This reaction is called as a Simon-Smith reaction via the development of carbene. In that reaction there is a carbenoid is developed. Now this CH2 is nothing but the singlet carbene, okay. Remember this one. Suppose sometime the question is arises, that is which intermediate is the the reactive intermediate developed in the Simon-Smith reaction, which is a carbene, okay, and the reaction is a stereoselective reaction, okay. Now let us see the another reactions where OSO4 and in sodium sulphite is given, now NaHSO3 bisulphite, okay. What will happen to that OSO4 and etc. So very well known transformation, particularly again. So look at this one particularly, when olefin are reacted with osmium tetroxide. So osmium tetroxide is the reagent that will be used particularly for the dihydroxylation. For what? The syn dihydroxylation. So you must remember this, syn dihydroxylation. What is that syn dihydroxylation? Suppose I have, this is a double bond and I want to do the hydroxylation. Syn means what? Both the OH should be on same side, okay, and this is actually called as a dihydroxylation, okay. Now we will see the mechanism of this reaction, so how this reaction will be proceed, okay. Now I have this, my reactant is 1-methyl cyclohexene, okay, and I will first react with the OSO4. What is OSO4 now? This is a osmium, and here this is actually what your reagent, okay. Now OSO4 is in maximum oxidation state, that is +8. What will happen to that now? You know that this olefin is a nucleophilic one, and these are the 3 centers are there now, one is osmium and 2 are the oxygen. Now it is a simple addition reaction, that is called as a 2 plus 3 cycloaddition reaction. What is cycloaddition reaction? Where we get the cyclic intermediate. Now look at this one. So this pi electron will be combined here, this will be moved to here now, and this will be combined to here now with an stereoselective fashion. That means stereoselective means it should be opposite to that of your methyl group. Suppose my methyl group is on the above the plane, then your osmium ester will be developed, should be, so this is what, yes, this is oxygen, okay, and here this is osmium, this is double bond O and this is double bond, and that intermediate, and this reaction is called as a 2 plus 3 cycloaddition. What is that 2 plus 3 cycloaddition reaction now? You can check here with the help of this. This is 1 and this is 2, suppose this is 2 center system. This is 1, this is 2 and this is 3, okay. So it is a 2 plus 3 cycloaddition reaction, and in that you will get the intermediate, that is called as a osmate ester, okay. If you use the KMnO4 as a reagent, you will get the manganate ester, same mechanism will be there. And to break that osmate ester, we are using what, sodium bisulfite or potassium potassium what, hexacyanate particularly can use this. So in that reactions what, hydrolysis will be done and you will get the product, so as a diol. What are the product will be appear now? as a diol now. Okay, so look at this one. So both the OH should be on the opposite side. So that is another stereoselective reaction. So one can transfer olefin to a diol, and that reaction is called as a dihydroxylation. Remember this transformation. Another example of electrophilic addition reaction. Okay. Now suppose I have this bromine water now. You know that bromohydrin test. Okay, bromine water. What will happen? Suppose the mechanism will be here first of all. Now you know that here the reaction will be going like this same fashion. Suppose I have this is an cyclohexene molecule. When I treated with the bromine first, what will happen? Just remember, just recall what the first step of what bromination. What will happen? Bromination will be occurred at the opposite side. So suppose I use that methyl as a top. You can also use the another example, okay, as a methyl as a bottom. Okay, methyl at the bottom. Now here this is called as a brominium ion. Now second step is here very interesting now. In simple bromination we are adding Br negative as a nucleophile, but in that reactions here water is there now. I know that water is a good nucleophile. So here we can combine the water as the same fashion like SN2, and this water will be attacked on the front side. Okay, and you will get the product. What the product will be appear now? It will be a bromohydrin. That means same stereochemistry, that is anti addition should be there, no doubt at all. Look at this one. Suppose my bromine is on back side and my water molecule is on the front side. If you see the actual chemistry of bromine and OH2, you will see that both are what? Anti, just like Br2 molecule, and this molecule is called as a bromohydrin. Okay, remember this reaction, very interesting example. Oh, now the next reagent, that is HBr. What will happen when your olefins are treated with the hydrogen bromide? Okay, so you can remember this. Suppose I have my this is my reactant. Okay, and when I treated with the hydrogen bromide, you know that in case of what hydrogen bromide, what will happen? So here you can give the charges like this. So first of all, this olefin are reacted to the hydrogen first, because rich species should be react with the deficient one. What will happen to that now? So when I reacted to this, so there is a formation of cation now. Either you will get this cation or either you will get what this cation, right? When you transfer the electron density from your reactant to the reagent, that is HBr, so you will get the two possible cations now. This cation is your secondary cation and this will be called as your tertiary cation. Okay, and now in that case what we have, the reagent, that is Br negative. We have the negative ion, that is Br negative. You can add to that cation, so you will get the product. So you will get the product here. This is your Br, and in this case this will be your Br. So you will get the two product. One is 1 methyl cyclohexane and what 1 bromo 1 methyl cyclohexane. Now which will be a major and which will be a minor? Both are what? Isomers of each other. These are called regio isomer or positional isomer, just differ in the position of bromine. So according to that Markovnikov, so we have what simple statement is that, so whenever we have unsymmetrical alkene, this is unsymmetrical, okay, this is not symmetrical, your alkene is unsymmetric, your reagent is also unsymmetric, then we have what? A simple statement, that is, so whenever we have unsymmetrical reagent and unsymmetrical alkene, then what? Negative part from the reagent goes to that carbon where less number of what? Hydrogens are there, less number of hydrogen or more number of carbons are there. That means this Br will be preferred the position here, and hydrogen goes to what? The carbon where more number of what? Hydrogens are there or less number of carbons are there, and hydrogen will be preferred this position. So that means this reaction is going via this way. Why? Because of we have tertiary cation, you know that these are the most stable, and that's why your major product of this reaction will be this one. So remember this, and this is according to Markovnikov rules. Okay, fine. Another important reaction, that is ozonolysis, O3 in the presence of dimethyl sulfide. Okay, you know that what is ozonolysis now? ozonolysis is nothing but the breaking of a reactant of a alkene particularly in the presence of ozone. Okay. So, let us see the mechanism of this reaction. Suppose I have this is my reactant. When I treated with ozone now, what is ozone now? Ozone is a triatomic molecule, okay, and very important reagent particularly for the oxidation of an alkene. So, this is actually the structure of an ozone now. If you see the chemistry of an ozone, you will see that at the center of the molecule there is a positive charge, and at this center now at the end one can say it is a negative charge, and you can also see the resonance of this molecule now. What is resonance now? A change in the position of pi electron within the molecule. You get also the resonance now. You know that when ozone are reacted with olefin, and ozone is a electron deficient reagent, right? That means it will only do the oxidation of electron rich olefins. So, first step is formation of ozonide. Formation of what? Ozonide. That means you can see the electron flow particularly here. So, I have suppose this is O negative oxygen and double bond O, and this is positive. Now, you can see the actual chemistry behind this one. So, here this will be goes here, this will be transfer here, and this will be goes to here. Now, you will get the formation of a tricyclic molecule like this one. That means 3 member ring will be developed in the case of what? Ozone. So, here and this will be the oxygen, this will be the oxygen, and this will be the also the another oxygen. Okay, get it? Now, when this is actually what the process. Okay. Now, what we can do now? The next step is what? So in this way, what you will get as a first intermediate this one. Okay. Again, another example of cycloaddition reaction, no problem at all. Now, when we have a DMS and etc. So, this will be a break. That is actually what, whenever we have olefin, whenever we have simple olefin and we are treated with ozone now, so it is just a cleavating reagent. So, that means it will be cleaved, okay, that molecule, and suppose I have my 2 hydrogen on this side, right. What will happen to that? So, hydrogen, hydrogen, and this will be O, and hydrogen, hydrogen. So, here one oxygen should be transformed here, second will be transformed here, and third will be transformed by to DMS. So, it is just a cleavatic reaction. Okay. First there is a formation of monozonide, and then there is a ozonide formation will be takes place now, and after that this bond will be cleaved, this bond will be cleaved, carbon carbon bond will be cleaved, and finally you will get the product. And now look at the product of this reaction. When we have 1-methyl cyclohexane, then your product of this reaction should be this. This is your product. Now, can you give the name to the system now? Yes, why not? So, we have a aldehyde. So, starting from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7. We have 7 carbons are there. So, it should be heptanyl, hept, okay, heptanyl. This is what actually your parent name, okay. And now at the 6th position there is an ketonic group is there. So, 6-oxo, 6-oxo hept, heptane 1-al or simple called as a heptanyl. So, this is the product appeared, or this is the product will be obtained from the ozonolysis of what 1-methyl cyclohexane. Okay, this one. Okay, let us see the another example of what MCPBA now. What is that MCPBA and what is the actual role of what MCPBA? So, metachloroperbenzoic acid. So, here whenever we have what olefins are reacted with MCPBA, MCPBA is a per acid, and per acids are oxidizing agent, oxidizing agent. So, what is the structure of MCPBA? So, I will draw the structure of MCPBA. This is what benzene, this is what COOH. If I write on the H, then it will be a benzoic acid. This is an perbenzoic acid, and at the meta position, that is with respect to the third position, here will be a Cl. This is called as a metachloroperbenzoic acid. Now, per acids are what good oxidizing agent. It will deliver that oxygen to your olefin, and olefin becomes epoxide and your reagent becomes a acid. Okay. Now, we will see the mechanism of this reaction. Now, I have suppose this is my olefin, and when I treated with MCPBA, I will get the my product is this one now. This is called as oxirane, 1,2-epoxy ethane, or also be called as what the epoxide, and that reaction is called as a epoxidation. That reaction is called as a epoxidation. Now MCPBA is electron deficient reagent, so it only oxidizes to, okay, for electron rich alkenes or isolated alkenes. So remember this one. And if I have suppose H2O2 and OH negative ion, it will be oxidized to conjugated olefins. Now this is the actual difference. So I will mention you that suppose I have this conjugated alkene and I want to do the epoxidation, then I will prefer the reagent nucleophilic one, need the nucleophilic reagent. And what will the product will be appear now? This one. Okay. So these two are very interesting reactions, particularly in the field of epoxidation. First reaction for electron rich alkene, second reaction for electron deficient. Okay. So you can also mention here, this is electron rich, this is electron deficient, this is electron deficient, and this is electron rich. Now you can also raise your questions, how this H2O2 OH negative ion will be a rich one. So you can have the same chemistry. Now suppose I have, this is hydrogen peroxide, you know that OO linkage means per linkage are more acidic one, so base can easily abstract the hydrogen. So after the abstraction of hydrogen, so you can convert to the this species, and this is a actual nucleophilic species now, right? And that's why this reagent is a electron rich reagent. Okay. Now MCPBA do the oxidation of electron rich olefins, so you will get the product in this reaction will be a epoxide. So again stereoselective mechanism, so here you will get the epoxide at opposite to that of a methyl group, and that reaction is called as a epoxidation reaction. Okay. Okay, let us see the another reaction that is called as a BH3THF in H2O2. Now the second reagent is H2O2, first reagent is borane. What will happen to that borane reacts with olefins? Now boranes are electron deficient, so always required electron rich olefins, no problem at all. How the reaction will be proceed now? So I have this my reactant as a 1-methyl cyclohexane unsymmetrical, and when I treated with the borane, now you know that boranes are unstable in a monomeric system, always they required what the, always they require the some supporting factor like tetrahydrofuran, dimethyl sulfide, ammonia, ethyl sulfide, etc., etc. So when these boranes are combined together, so there is a syn addition will be takes place now. What is that syn addition now? Syn addition means your reagent is added to the syn side, and there is a 4-membered ring will be formed. Okay. So now you know that in case of a BH2 particularly, so here H negative and BH2 positive will be there now. Likewise, if we polarize the system likewise, and hydrogen always prefer the electronically more crowded position. So here hydrogen and here will be the BH2. You will get the 4-membered ring, and that will be called as a alkyl borane. So here this is actually called as a organoboron. This is called as a organoboron. And now that organoboron when treated with your H2O2, now this is the first step of what this is called as a hydroboration. And now in the second step, that Cb bond is converts to the COH bond in the presence of what hydrogen peroxide, right, in the basic medium. So what will happen, that the ring will be cleaved, and the ring will be cleaved, you will get the product as a alcohol. So look the chemistry of this reaction, and you get the least substituted alcohol as the major product, because Cb, where is the Cb, that will be a converts to CO bond. So first step is simple, what, reaction where Cb bond will be developed, and in second step what, Cb will be converts to COH, that will be done with the help of what, oxidizing reagent. Okay, this is second step is oxidation, and that reaction is called as a hydroboration reaction, which is always syn addition reaction. Okay, and stereoselective. Now the another reaction, that is a mercuration process, now exactly opposite to that of what your hydroboration. Now in case of what mercuration reaction, so again where that alkene is combined with the mercurium ion, like suppose I have this a dipositive system of what mercury, what will happen, again it will be do the reaction likewise your borane. Okay, suppose I have this is methyl group. Okay, and here a mercurium ion like this, so will be developed at here now HgOSc and this is called as what? Organomercurium ion. This is called as a, because whenever we have carbon metal bond, okay, that system will be called as a organometallic system. Okay, and now look at this one. This will be developed in this reaction, and now the most important step is what? Attack of nucleophile. Attack of nucleophile like water, always water or methanol or whatever nucleophile is given, it is only from the sterically more crowded side, and that is why the mercurium ion will be open from more crowded side and you will get the more substituted alcohol. This is actual difference between what? This is what this water will be coming like this, OH will be here, now this will be your methyl group and here will be what? Your mercury, suppose, and now that CHG bond, that is carbon mercurium bond, will be converted to CH. It will be done with the help of sodium borohydride. That is why we are the reagent as a NaBH4. So this CHG bond will be converted to CH by releasing that hydride ion from NaBH4, and your product of this reaction, look at this product now of this reaction, will be a tertiary alcohol. Will be what? Tertiary alcohol. Now if we just compare the hydroboration and what mercuration, both are what? Opposite. This will be give secondary alcohol as a major, this will be give the tertiary alcohol as a major. Okay, remember this one. Okay, another reaction, so in which what happen when alcohols are reacted with the alkene in the presence of acid? Acid should be there, because if you don't have an acid, then your alkene cannot be reacted to the alcohols. Now suppose I have, this is a reaction now, and I have the alcohol is like this one. Now what will happen? Now you cannot react nucleophile with nucleophile, because O have also the lone pair and this alkene also have pi electrons, they cannot be react together. So first step should be with the H plus ion. What will happen now? This will be combined together, it will be makes the cation. First it will be converted to the cation, like the cation will be, two cation will be formed, either secondary or either tertiary. So tertiary will be the most stable, and then your alcohol, that is ROH, will be the source of a nucleophile, attack to the tertiary cation, and here the product will be formed like this one. Okay, remember this, and this is the major product of this reaction. Okay, fine, good. Then another reaction is what? We can do the simple hydration reaction in the presence of water, but again acid should be there. Now the same mechanism is there. Okay, so cation will be developed and you can just react with water, so you will get the product is a alcohol. Okay, tertiary alcohol with the product when we have water. And last reaction is what? H2 in the presence of catalyst. You know that that reaction is called as a catalytic hydrogenation. Whenever we have olefin and combine with the what hydrogen, so in the presence of catalyst now, so that reaction should be called as a molecular hydrogen transfer. So H2 in the presence of catalyst. Whenever we have catalyst, then reaction will be a proceed, neither cannot, because hydrogenation reaction will be required the surface of catalyst now, and that is why this reaction is a stereo selective reaction again. So generally from syn side, so here one can be this one. So this is actually what the flow chart of the reactions which are particularly occurred on the olefins. Why I choose the molecule as unsymmetric olefin? Because unsymmetric olefin gives the regioselective product. Okay, you should know about the regioselectivity. Okay, so regioselectivity particularly for what? More than one double bond, or we have what? Unsymmetrical olefins also. So all are the reactions are very interesting reactions, very important reaction one can say. Okay, so I am just trying to give the brief idea about the reactions which are work particularly on the olefins now. So actually in this what particularly olefins, particularly there are two types of reactions are there, or simple unsaturated molecules participate in the two reactions: addition to carbon carbon multiple bond and addition to carbon carbon heteroatom bond. We have just carbonyl chemistry, imine chemistry, etc., etc. So definitely we will cover to the next part of this lecture. Okay, so thank you for watching this lecture. So I hope you will get my points. Okay, and this is very applicable for the syllabus regarding that UG as well as what the PG. Okay, thank you.